I think probably like actual fans of George R.R. Martin, they must be infuriated by shows like House of the Dragon,
I
because
think
all of
so.
that stuff is just like another drain on his attention, and it's another thing that he's doing to avoid writing Winds of Winter. And
Write the fucking book, George. Write the book,
that's
George.
it. Like, man, it's like I watched Gary's video about this just recently, and like he made like a blog update on it, and it was so fucking salty. Like, not Gary's video, but like George's update saying like, yeah, I know Winds of Winter is important to you, but you know what? All these other things are important to me too. And he's just like going on about all the other like irrelevant fucking vanity projects that he's working on that are taking up all of his time.
Let's give Kathy Bates a sledgehammer and put her to work. Write the book, George.
That's it. I mean, man, he needs to be like severed from the internet, and he needs to be removed from doing all these producer gigs, and just told, right, fucking forget all that. Forget about all the conventions and attending the opening of every fucking letter. Just sit in front of your fucking DOS computer and fucking finish this book. That's all you have to do before you die.
I mean,
because
I think
you're really old and you're really fat and you're really unhealthy and you might not be around that much longer.
It's true. But I think that post was especially annoying because this is stuff that George R. R. Martin's fans have known for like a decade. We knew this was the case. We were just waiting for you to admit it. Like, we knew you'd lost interest. We knew you got other stuff you want to work on. May as well have just been honest about it from the get-go. And then fucking try to figure out the solution to that problem instead of leading people on for ages, being like, "Oh no, it will be ready by this year. No, next year. No, the next year. Oh, with COVID happening, I'm locking myself up in my cabin. And I'll be working nonstop on it." And it's just like, I don't believe you. And then he comes out with one that's really just like, frustrated with everybody. Just like, "Oh, I should be able to work on what I want to work on." It's like, you know what? You can. You are free to do that. You could have just told us this a decade ago. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, what he had to do was yes, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, that dude's biggest fucking problem in his career is that he can't say no to anything. It's like we're making like 5 prequel shows of Game of Thrones. Do you want to be a producer on it and be deeply involved in the writing and stuff? Yeah, sure. Hey, could you do like a companion book for like the world of Westeros? Yeah, sure, I can do that. Can you do like a Duncan Egg fucking 5-volume set of like their prequel story? Yeah, okay, I can do that. It's like at a certain point you just have to say, no, I've got to do Winds of Winter. Sorry, like this is more important. I need to get this finished. I'll get back to you later.
Say, he's figured out how to say no to his own fucking work. So
you know why
I tell you, man, like no, on you go, Andre. I've interrupted you enough.
Oh, that's all right. I think he does it because he doesn't know how to end it. I think that he is so lost in his own story because he's like this kind of writer that just comes up with the characters and then they dictate the story, which is why it's really compelling and good for a while there. But at some point, I think he lost track of the story. I think the reason he's only finished like maybe half of like the next book and hasn't even started on the one after that is because he doesn't know where it's going. He doesn't know how to end this. But if someone offers, hey, prequel this, prequel that, he can do that because he sees where it kind of has to end up. And then it's much easier to like come up, spitball 10 ideas right away. And he knows how to do that. That's something that he can get done on time and get paid for it. Whereas alternatively, he can sit and he can work on the Winds of Winter, and he can sit there during COVID. You know that scene in The Shining when the wife of Jack Nicholson comes to him and sees what he's been actually writing on the whole time, and it's like pages and pages and pages and pages of him like writing like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I would not be surprised if the half of the Winds of Winter that he has written is something along that he's burnt out creatively. He doesn't know where to take the story. And that's why he's just shunning it. He's not working on it. And he works on the stuff that he can work on, that he knows what to do with. The prequel stories.
I've got a different theory. What he's going to do is let everyone else finish the series and bomb the ending and then he's gonna watch and he's gonna pick the ending that's better after it. He's gonna be like, okay, so the TV show ended it this way. There's fan fiction out there, they ended it this way. This is all just garbage and everyone hates it. Now I'll end it the right way. That's the plan I would do if I was George.
He's never going to end this. Like,
There is a
if he gets Winds of Winter done, I'll be impressed. But okay, it's probably doable.
But what do you think
like,
he wants? Like, that's my theory. Like, why he hasn't done it. But why, as a writer yourself, and if you have this massive work, why wouldn't you finish it when you know this is your legacy? Why do all these other?
I think he probably wants to finish it. I just don't think he's got the focus, the motivation, the work ethic, or the energy anymore. You know, it's easy. It'd be hard enough for someone like of our age, like, you know, relatively young, to take on a massive project like this and try and see it through to completion. But for a man in his mid-70s, like your creative energy, your drive, your motivation, all of those things, they do not get better with age. And I think that's probably where he's at. And his attention is already split between like a dozen other projects, which are much easier, much more high profile and sexier. Like, hey, you know, you can be a fucking producer on a TV show. Of course, that's nice and easy. You get to go to these big awards ceremonies and conventions and have people like taking your picture and showering you with praise. That's all great. That stokes your ego, and it doesn't require too much effort.
And,
Sitting in your office,
a video game that's hyper popular, and so you can be like, hey, that was our achievement, look what we did. It's like Game of Thrones, George. What are you doing?
Exactly. But locking yourself away in a fucking office for a couple of years to write a book with no input from anyone, that's not an appealing prospect, is it? Because that requires a lot of just hard work and graft, and it's difficult, and he probably just can't be bothered anymore.